My father died in July. Even now, I remember the weather. Hot, humid. The kind of afternoon where the ceiling fan never seems fast enough. One moment he was sitting in the living room, arguing with the TV news. The next, he was gone. After the rituals were over and the relatives stopped visiting, it was just me and my mother and the silence. People talk about grief as if it's an emotion. It isn't. It's a presence. It sits in empty chairs. It waits outside closed doors. It follows you from room to room. For weeks, my mother barely spoke. Most nights, she sat alone in the dining room, long after midnight. Sometimes I'd wake up and see the light still on. Sometimes I'd hear her moving around. I thought she couldn't sleep. Then one night, I saw the second cup. I'd gone to get water. The dining room door was slightly open. My mother sat at the table. In front of her were 2 cups of tea, both steaming. One for her, one for someone else. I remember standing there in the dark, just staring. The chair opposite her was empty. Yet she kept smiling, nodding, listening. Then she laughed, a real laugh. The first real laugh I'd heard since my father died. I should have walked in. I should have asked what was going on. Instead, I quietly went back to bed. The next morning, I asked her who she'd been talking to. She looked at me for a second, then smiled. Nonsense. That's all she said. Nonsense. But the following night, there were 2 cups again, and the night after that, and the night after that. Always 2 cups, always after midnight, always that same empty chair. Slowly, an idea began growing inside my head. A ridiculous idea, the kind people don't admit out loud. What if Dad had come back? Not as something evil, not to scare us, just to sit with her, to keep her company. The apartment seemed to support the idea. Dad's favorite newspaper would appear on the dining table. A fresh teacup would be left in the sink. Sometimes the faint smell of his shaving cream drifted through the hallway. And every now and then, late at night, I'd hear my mother laughing. The same way she used to laugh when Dad was alive. Then one night, I heard her say something. I was standing outside the dining room door, listening. I know I shouldn't have, but I listened anyway. My mother laughed softly. Then she said, "He's getting suspicious." I felt my stomach drop. A few seconds later, she added, "Yes, he's watching." I didn't sleep that night, not even for a minute. The next morning, I bought a camera. If someone was sitting in that chair, I wanted proof. At exactly 2:11 a.m., my mother entered the dining room carrying a tray. 2 cups of tea. She sat down and began talking. The chair opposite her remained empty. Yet she listened as though someone was answering, smiling, laughing, nodding. Then suddenly, She looked directly at the camera, straight into the lens. My heart nearly stopped. She smiled, turned back toward the empty chair, and said, "He's watching." Then she laughed, and whoever sat across from her laughed too. At least, that's what it sounded like. The recording ended a few minutes later. I remember staring at the screen, trying to convince myself I'd imagined it, trying to convince myself none of it was real. That evening, I went searching through my father's wardrobe, looking for answers. Instead, I found a document folded between old hospital papers. Official, stamped, yellowed with age. I unfolded it, looked at the name, read it once, then twice, then a third time, because my mind refused to understand what my eyes already had. It was a death certificate, and the name on it was mine. At that exact moment, laughter drifted up from downstairs. My mother's laughter, warm, happy, followed by another laugh. Mine. My father hadn't come back. I was the one who never left.